Hello everybody, Minstorm here, and welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. In the last episode, we concluded the ball at the Winter Palace in Orlais, where we eventually decided to allow Empress Celine to be assassinated, putting Gaspard on the throne, and then we kind of used our blackmail material against Briala, that was her name, to prevent her from being able to wield any power. The decision was made because we thought that a more military-oriented leader of Orlais would be better for us at this particular point. So we're a little bit complicit in the assassination of the Empress, but, you know, we have a war to fight. So decisions had to be made. Alright, so we are back at Skyhold and obviously at the war table. So we need to pick up the missions we had sent before, and as you can see, we got a bunch more to work on. So we're going to go ahead and get to that. Well, let's go ahead and do originating the bad goods. The caravan spotted by Sarah's friends was abandoned after our offer to buy it. There is no documentation to show who arranged it. It appears our scrutiny was enough to scare them off. Alright, got an amulet of power. And this is exposed, the double agent. The following is confession that I, Abernail Harish, known as Painter, when the employee of the Inquisition, did betray our cause in exchange for promises of a title from the Venatori. I acknowledge the mercy of the Inquisition allowing me my life in exchange for secrets of the enemy, who I have now forsworn, and I willingly serve my sentence in prison. Abernail Harish, as witnessed by Liliana. I wonder how they got that confession out of the guy. Alright. Enhanced Amulet of Invasion. I think that's everything. Alright, so let's just see what we can do here in Ferelden first. Investigate Lord Enzo of Antiva. Report from Antiva, delivered to Liliana. The Venatori are smuggling red lyrium into Antiva, and thus far they have evaded our grasp. We believe Lord Enzo of Rialto is assisting them. Enzo is clever, well-liked, and has relations among Antivan royalty. If we approach him without proof, he will bury his tracks and turn his allies against us. We must handle this carefully. Sounds like a job for Liliana. Lord Enzo attends the theater on the same night each week. His home is empty, save a few servants. During that time, my agents could pay a visit. Sounds like a plan. Alright, delicate negotiations. This sounds like something for Josephine. Inquisitor, I am told this Gaspard fellow getting onto the throne of Orlais is your doing. Are you aware of how he's rattled his sword of Ferelden for years now? Because that whole invasion worked so well the last time, I suppose. I know Orlais is in no shape to be invading anytime soon, but I'm hoping your influence with the man could help bring about some peace talks. Considering my dancing skills, it would take the Inquisition's presence to keep me from starting a war by accident. King Alistair Theron. Ah, it's from Alistair. Josephine, there is a great deal of bad blood between these nations, but I will do my best to facilitate your talks. 16 hours and 48 minutes.
At your service.
That's a long one. Hard in Hightown, trouble in Skyhold. Reparations for Redcliffe. Actually, let's take a look at this one first. A letter has arrived. Stamped with the seal of Redcliffe. As the Inquisition has assumed responsibility for the Mage Rebellion, the Arling of Redcliffe holds you accountable for the losses suffered by our people while providing hospitality to your mage allies. Oh, lovely. A freehold in Rainsfair was burned to the ground when a mage inside lost control of his abilities. 2 farms outside Redcliffe Village suffered crop loss and structural damage due to frost spells. 5 people in Redcliffe Village were injured by lightning spells cast by panicked children. I trust this matter can be concluded without the involvement of the Crown. All Tegan. We could spend a few people to make repairs that might satisfy the Earl. Alright.
Inquisitor.
Go ahead and do it. And that's it for now. So one thing we're going to probably be doing is taking care of some business in Skyhold after the major story events that we just went through. Chat up with our companions, see if they have anything new to say, and see what we might want to decide to go ahead and start doing next. Alright, so Amulet of Power. Well, whose Amulet of Power is that, by the way? We have one for Cole and one for Sarah. Okay, so for Sarah, which is weird how these work. Do we have any rings we can give him? Enhanced spinning blades. Ring of flanking. Yep, give that stuff to Cole. We're gonna have to use Cole at some point. I tend to not use him. So I'll need to make a point of bringing him along at some juncture. Alright, Josephine.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
I don't blame them.
They don't see an empress murdered in front of their eyes every day.
I must confess, when Celine was killed, my first reaction wasn't sorrow. It was disappointment. How could the Empress of Orlais be taken in by the Duchess's plot?
I do feel a little guilty about Celine.
Celine trusted me. Us. To help her.
She trusted she could use us. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
Yeah, no one in that whole business was clean. I mean, Celine did purge an elven alienage, which isn't exactly a nice thing to do. The ball was petty and dull. I felt out of place.
I kept dreading I'd drop the wrong spoon or step on a general's foot.
Well done. Feuds that spanned ages have sparked over less.
Really?
Inquisitor never underestimates the enmity of those for whom outrage is a sport.
Ain't that the truth?
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Corypheus claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
The anchor's magic, not holy. It might be the Maker's will. Believe it was holy too. I guess we'll just say it's just magic.
The anchor's nothing more special than a misfired spell.
At least you had the good fortune to take it from Corypheus. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
I guess I'll go with this one.
It's not pain. It's more like my nerves go on fire.
It sounds most unpleasant.
Alright. Let me just check. Oh, I can sit. Let's see who we have to judge.
First, this wasn't my idea. It is an issue born of titles and heir apparency and... Alam Shiral is having difficulty freeing trade routes formerly controlled by Duchess Florian. Had she been tried, her assets would be forfeit and considerable bureaucracy avoided. So they ask that we judge her.
They want me to judge her corpse. I have to judge her remains.
This is supposed to make sense? I'm judging a box?
That was the time allotted for rebuttal. Her crimes negated any claim to... Forgive me, there is an odor.
My decision is to ignore this. Community service. Alright, let's get it over with. Let's take it seriously.
Grand Duchess Florian de Chalon? Guilty. Your claims are forfeit. I assume, Josephine, this is enough.
Quite, Inquisitor. And again, my apologies.
A little bit of just legal business. It's kind of hilarious. I think that if you actually, if you intervene before Celine is assassinated, I think you maybe capture her alive. Varric, anything new to say?
I need to have a few words with my publisher. The first one will be you, and the second one will be Bastard. They've claimed for years my crime serials don't sell in Orlais. So why is the Council of Heralds asking me for autographs? Sorry, distracted. Anyway, you need something?
Doesn't seem like he has anything new to talk about.
Carry on.
I don't know what you think you're doing.
And Solus has been busy.
By a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
You'd be surprised at the credit my tongue gets me, Your Reverence.
Are Durian and Mother Giselle still fighting? Oh my goodness.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Shirao, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
You've seen this before?
You miss court intrigue. When were you at court?
Oh, well, never directly, of course. An elven apostate is rarely invited to speak with empresses and kings. But from the Fade, I have watched dynasties form and empires crumble. It is sometimes savage, sometimes noble, and always fascinating. In any event, Gaspard should be a steadfast ally, especially after delivering him both Celine and Briala.
Is Briala's fate a problem?
Am I sensing concern over how we dealt with Briala?
No. Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Who then?
Who do you have much in common with? Who are your people?
A good question. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Even if we couldn't help Briala, I hope we can make life better for Orlesian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears.
Alright, anything else to say?
Sleep well.
When I asked to talk to you, I didn't think we'd be doing it in the Fade. Still better than the dream where I'm standing naked in front of the war table.
Since you went to the trouble of finding me in your sleep, it was worth the effort of doing something interesting. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable, but I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
I don't think that's much else than we've already talked with Solus about.
Talk later.
Goodbye.
Alright, so let's head upstairs and see what's going on with the crew up there. What's going on, you two?
Oh,
What's going on here?
It seems the revered mother is concerned about my undue influence over you.
It is just concern. Your worship, you must know how this looks.
You might need to spell it out, my dear.
This man is of Tevinter. His presence at your side, the rumors alone.
Because he's Deventer?
What's wrong with him being from Tevinter, specifically?
I'm fully aware that not everyone from the Imperium is the same.
How kind of you to notice. Yet still you bow to the opinion of the masses.
The opinion of the masses is based on centuries of evidence. What would you have me tell them?
The truth?
The truth is I do not know you, and neither do they. Thus, these rumors will continue.
Oh, what rumors?
Oh. I'd like to hear what these rumors are exactly.
I could not repeat them, your worship.
Repeat them. So you shared them before.
See, I meant no disrespect, Inquisitor. Only to ask after this man's intentions. If you feel he is without ulterior motive, then I humbly beg forgiveness of you both.
Well, that's something.
This happens often.
This sort of thing happens often, does it?
More than anyone tells you. No one knows their own reputation.
Until someone helpfully informs them.
There is that. She meant well, if that's of any concern. I should ask, do the rumors bother you?
Always be rumors.
Why should it bother me? Everyone's talking about the Inquisition.
That's good. I'd hate to think I brought you any grief. Perhaps it's odd to say, but I think of you as a friend, Inquisitor. I have precious few friends. I didn't think to find one here. Don't speak. I detest confessions, and I'd like to get this over with. Allow me to say I'll stand beside you, against Corypheus, my countryman, or spurious rumor, so long as you'll have me.
All right. Anything further?
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. An empress dead, her replacement in your pocket. A charming fellow, though still a bit of a thug. All this dancing, politics, and murder makes me a bit homesick.
You missed that?
That's something you actually miss?
Who wouldn't? All the drama, the scandal, the petty maneuverings. Back home, we engage in social affairs with the grim intensity of war. When blood is spilled, the battle is won. Less fun when you're the target, but to watch. My, yes. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
A ham which tastes of despair. I think we've already talked with him enough about the Imperium.
I should go.
As you wish.
I believe that's a reference to the DLC from the last game. I don't think we really have anything to talk with Fiona about. I think we can go turn in the research. There's someone else over there. Hey, we leveled up.
Oh, Inquisitor, greetings. I was recently appointed by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order. I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get back to work.
Okay. Speaking of Liliana, let's go what she has to say about what happened in the palace. Oh, examine. What's this? On the condition of your charges, dear Liliana, you'll be happy to learn that your friends are doing well. Oh, I think we've already read that. I think it's her pet Nugs. Liliana.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture.
Yes, that's because Cassandra and Liliana are being considered for the next divine. But what do you want?
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
You could abandon ship.
No one would fault you for abandoning ship, you know.
Out of the ship, and straight into the sea. You think Thedas hates mages now? If the Chantry falls, don't you think the people will blame magic? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Mages are always involved. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
That would be bad.
No, we don't want that.
And the Chantry can see that it doesn't happen. The people are sheep, Inquisitor. They need to follow. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
Alright, anything else?
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
Always looking to gain.
You're always looking for some way to benefit, aren't you?
It's what I'm here for. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
Any updates?
Anything I should know?
Celine's loyalists are causing trouble in Orlais. Emperor Gaspard is employing harsh tactics. I would expect nothing less from him. We've gained a ruthless ally.
Carry on.
I'll leave you to your work.
Alright, so I think that's pretty much everybody in the rotunda. And everyone in the keep. So we'll head on outside. See who's kicking around over here. I think we might head over to the tavern. See if Bull finally has anything new to say.
Of course.
Or do you have anything to say, Harding?
Inquisitor,
What's new?
What's been going on?
Sister Liliana glanced at me today. I think she's gonna have me killed.
Don't worry about that.
Take care.
Krim.
Your worship?
We'll talk later.
Okay, nothing new there. Bull?
You know I've got no problem with Orlesians, but Halam Sharal was a mess. At least under the Qun, you don't get everyone tripping on each other's dicks while the country goes to crap.
Should we start getting flirty? Sure.
You've got a way with words, Bull.
I do what I can.
Maybe we can find some other uses for that mouth of yours.
Yeah. When is the next meal anyway? Orlesian food always leaves me hungry. You're doing good work, boss. I like how this Inquisition is coming. Next time you're free, why don't you come grab a drink? I'll introduce you to the Chargers.
You wanted to get drinks?
You said we should go get some drinks and meet your company?
Yeah, come on. It'll be fun. Ah, good. We're not drinking alone. How you doing, creme de la creme?
Your worship. I'm so glad he has someone new to hit with that joke.
Krim isn't too bad.
I can think of worse places to go with Cremisius.
So can the chief, believe me. He loves his nicknames.
Hey, when I was growing up, my name was just this series of numbers. We all give each other nicknames under the Qun.
They ever wear shirts under the Qun, chief? Or do they just run around binding their breasts like that?
It's a harness, creme.
Yes, for your pillowy man bosoms. Let me know if you need help binding. You could really chisel something out of that overstuffed look.
Why pass as a man?
You don't have to pass for a man to be a mercenary.
I'm not passing as anything.
In Kunadar, creme would be an Akunatlak. That's what we call someone born one gender but living like another.
And Kunari don't treat those Akun people any differently than a real man.
They are real men, just like you are.
Maybe your people aren't so bad after all.
Don't get your hopes up, creme. We still come down hard on the back talk. Anyway, here's the rest of the chargers, or what's left of the rest. A lot of them went looking for stronger drinks. We've got Rocky and Skinner there, and over there are Stitches, Dalish, and Grim. Crazy bunch of assholes, but they're mine.
Alright, so I guess we can ask about them. How'd you get here, Skinner?
So, how'd you join the Chargers?
Killed some people.
Skinner didn't take kindly to nobles testing their new swords on the elves in her alienage.
Bull took me in. Now I get paid to kill shams.
This is actually really good behavior for her. She's not marking her territory or anything.
You're a healer, Stitches?
I take it you're the company healer.
Yes, first time I ever picked up a sword was when the Blight hit Ferelden. Never put it back down.
He makes a potion that'll put you right back on your feet after even the toughest fight. It tastes terrible, though.
That's because it's a poultice, sir. You're not supposed to drink it.
Alright, and Grim, what's your story?
Grim, is it?
Grim doesn't talk much. I'm pretty sure he's the lost king of some small country, or a chieftain. Something like that.
And where are you from, Rocky?
Were you born on the surface, or are you from Orzammar?
Orzammar. I got exiled. Stupid noble crap. Also, I accidentally blew up a bit of the shape rate.
Rocky's one of our best sappers. He can take down enemy fortifications faster than a golem.
I'm also working on my own version of Kunari black powder. I've almost got it.
Yeah, you really don't.
And why leave your clan, Dalish?
Why aren't you with your clan?
Our keeper thought I should see the world a little.
Dalish don't have templars, so they can't have too many mages in a clan at once.
Now, sir, you know I'm not a mage. That'd make me an apostate.
You carry a staff, Dalish.
It's a bow.
A bow with a giant glowing crystal at the tip.
Yes, it's for aiming. Old elven trick you wouldn't understand.
Okay. This is quite the group.
You really take in anyone, don't you?
Anyone who can carry their weight in a fight.
And who can put up with your bullshit, Chief?
Man can beat the Chargers, cause we'll hit you where it hurts. Unless you know what's happened with loose cards and looser skirts. For every bloody battlefield, we'll gladly raise a cup. No matter what tomorrow holds, our horns be pointing up.
Thanks for coming by, boss. Glad you could meet some of my team.
Alright. And I guess it's probably it for what he wants to talk about
boss.
at the moment.
How are you?
Yeah, that's
See you
about
later,
it.
Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
And I guess we'll go up here, talk to Sarah again.
We don't need those chargers. We've soldiers enough without cell swords.
They're fine.
Mercs are mercs.
One for the Empress. For Gaspard. Briala. The Duchess. And Christopher. Right in the dangle bag.
Remind me not to get you mad.
Well, remind me to stay on your good side.
Like you'd listen. Doesn't matter. It's not you, it's the pile of dead in Halam Shiral. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right? So long as there's a book for the throne. And a total arse, too. I thought Gaspard was tired of that game, but he settled in real easy. Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
Earwigs. That's stop a ball.
I don't know. You want to stop a party, I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot, the whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots. Demon armies and wardens, and Varric has exactly who we need. The big talker just knows everything.
Carry on.
I'll be back if I need you.
Nothing else to say there. And I guess Cassandra is the nearest. And then we have Blackwall.
Thank you.
Well, hold on. We have... Actually, I think that's in a different spot. There's a quest marker over here somewhere.
Oh, my maker. You cannot imagine how many letters I've received about the fracas at Halam Shiral. Fortunately, you tied twice as many threads as cut. Although it is yet bewildering at the center.
Halam Shiral calls a stir.
There are problems coming out of Halam Shiral?
There are always problems from Halam Shiral. We've lost a few contracts, but more than made up for it. Although, if a few commendations were given, it might retie some severed threads. I couldn't suggest how. That is better decided at your war table, and I'm not going near that thing.
Alright.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor.
Negotiated deal for weapon plans operations is now available at the war table. Oh, we can do the dwarven puzzle box. Drakes. Craft the item. Serves entertaining diversions from Inquisition soldiers, not to mention being useful for trade. Reward +1 power. Navaran longbows. We can do those as well. Some of our agents and messengers have gone missing while out in the field, outfitting them with quality Navaran longbows to ensure that they're better able to defend themselves. Reward +1 power. Okay.
We are honored to serve.
There should be 2 power. There we go. And Cassandra.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
She bothering you?
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
Is that even possible?
How can you and Liliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Liliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
And... why am I not a candidate?
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a mage, first and foremost. If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium. Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Liliana or I would be any better.
So refuse.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
Do better.
If you're concerned, then make it better.
Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
And what of Liliana?
You're not the only candidate. What about Liliana?
Liliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Liliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change?
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
A new crusade for you?
So this is your new crusade.
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Alright. I guess I'll give her another talk, just to see if there's anything new.
I can keep staring at this, but I won't get any closer.
Closer to what?
What are you looking for?
I suppose I'll never find them on my own. We saw so many Red Templars at the assault on Haven. Perhaps all that was left of the Order. What we didn't see was Lord Seeker Lucius. Indeed, I've seen no hint of any Seekers amongst the Red Templars, or anywhere. I have a growing suspicion Corypheus has imprisoned them.
Couldn't they be dead?
Why imprisoned? He could just as easily have killed them.
Not easily. But yes, they may be dead. But the Seekers began this war against the mages. They cannot have simply vanished. There must be a trail we can follow, yet so far I have only discovered hints.
What if they're infected?
But they could have ended up just like the Red Templars.
Seekers do not use lyrium. I assume Corypheus gained control of the Templars by corrupting the lyrium they were already taking. To do the same to a Seeker, you'd have to force the lyrium upon him. That may be what happened, but it couldn't have begun that way. We're missing a piece of the puzzle, Inquisitor. I need to find it.
This is important to you?
Finding them obviously means a lot to you.
I left the Order, but I can never abandon them. I cannot even claim that rescuing them would be beneficial. They wouldn't look kindly on the Inquisition. But even so, if there's a chance... If we can spare resources to follow up on these leads, Inquisitor, I would appreciate it.
Have Cullen, Leon, Josephine investigate the disappearance of the Seekers. Okay, so that's a new item on the war map. So I think for now we're going to go ahead and we're going to chat with Blackwall, and then we'll call it an episode, and then we will decide what to do next. As far as going out and exploring the world. If we want to head to the western approaches and see what's going on with the Grey Wardens, or do something else. We'll see. Blackwall.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Looks like he doesn't have anything much to say.
Nothing right now. Perhaps in a bit.
Alright. So yeah, we'll go ahead and end the episode here. I'll make some decisions about what we're going to do next when we come back, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.